I think we should approach animal conservation from a different angle, the Doctor Who angle. We should wipe out all endangered species and wait a couple of years as each of them returns en great mass. Eventually we'll run out of space. By the way, this is obviously a joke. I shouldn't antagonise fans when I don't actually have any. Anyway, on a completely different subject, Daleks. Emotionless aliens who are apparently extinct but as ubiquitous as Starbucks. They return briefly for this single episode, and when I say return, they're just sort of there. Previous episodes take time to explain the reason for their return, but the writers must have given up due to lack of imagination. Something else that's been left dead by the roadside is tension. There's a scene in which a group of Daleks attack a small group of under-equipped humans, which is reminiscent of a scene from the final Christopher Eccleston episode. It's a scene that uses character drama, setting, and a good build-up to create a scene filled with tension, whereas in this episode, they use some explosions. Lots of explosions to create a Transformers film. This is a perfect example of why a cult hit shouldn't use expensive effects. It means intelligent storytelling is substituted with mindless visuals. Nice, but mindless. This all just serves to remind us that Doctor Who is actually a children's show, and we can see that even more when they borrow a plot point that's been used in everything, including SpongeBob SquarePants. When they mentioned shrinking people and putting them into patients to help them with their medical problems, I sighed so much that I doubled my carbon footprint. But I do have to say that Capaldi's performance was good, once again. I have a theory. In order to warm us to new Doctors, the writers have in the past created scenarios that place the Doctor in such a light that we begin to accept them. The first episode with David Tennant had the world slowly fall apart while the Doctor recovered, and eventually arrived in such a way that we would have cheered even if David Cameron was the Doctor. Matt Smith's first episode utilised heavy-handed imagery to associate him forever as the Doctor. My theory is that the writers are writing episodes in which Peter Capaldi is the only good thing. You quickly learn to appreciate sweet corn when you're binge-eating shit. Good God, that sounds like the voice of experience. Again, there are some good things about this episode. The idea of the Doctor's damaged moral compass is a good one, and as much as I hate to admit it, the series-long Heaven thing is extremely interesting, and as long as it continues to be interesting, I'll admit I was wrong to complain about it. I think I'm well within my rights to complain about that god-awful scene in the school at the beginning. This episode was another disappointment, and if the series continues like this, the show's entire reputation could forever be affected. Thanks for listening. Email any show suggestions to this address.